Right, well, after the showdown at the council house on Monday gone, where we had a meeting with Johnny Boy Collins and the Beast of Nottingham, Ian Courier, I have been inundated with calls. We're currently in Retford, which is in North Nottinghamshire, and I've been contacted by a victim who is willing to share some of his story. And with that, I'd like to introduce...
Yeah, I was in Ashley House in 1957, taking 2 bottles of pop, riding 2 on a bike, and for being on the railway line. And they put me in Ashley House for 5 weeks, which was a remand home. The first night in the remand home, being a little boy, I pillow fighted with one of the guests, and the guy came out the office, or the bedroom as he was upstairs. We was in rooms with glass windows so he could see what was what. He came out, he smacked me across the face, knocked me over 2 beds, then stood me up, knocked me back over 2 beds, then he stuck me up, lapped me again. I was virtually unconscious, picked me up with a scruff of the neck, chucked me on the bed, said, "You will behave." And from that, the violence and the sexual abuse was more. I was fetched into the office on several times, and people wanted me to masturbate them, or wanted me to masturbate myself in front of them, or they wanted to put their hands up my trouser legs. On the weekend, as I first went there, the boss of the children's home had a big black car, and I was told to wash it with a guy from Kirkby. Always remember this lad from Kirkby. He was a little bit of a shy thing.
Do you remember his name?
No, I'm terrible for names, but for faces, I have a fantastic like for faces. And we got £0.50 for washing the car, and I sprayed him with the water, you know, just playing about. And the guy saw me, the big man, and he was a big man, saw me, came across, took the £0.50 off me, gave me a slap, told me that I wouldn't be going to the pictures that night, which we thought we was because we were washing the car and we were told we was going to go to the pictures. So I was beginning to think it was alright, but it wasn't. And it just went from there to worse, to worse, to worse. And finally, what they actually did to me, they raped me, 3 of them raped me, buggered me, in the middle of the night, while it was throwing it down with rain. And now when I hear the rain pitter-patting on any buildings, it wakes me up, it brings it back. And when they finished with me, they made me go to the loo and clean myself. I kicked the doors because I was that mad I couldn't do anything. And the next minute he came, the door opened, because they could open the door from the outside, and he said, "If you don't be quiet, you'll get some more. Now get in bed." When I got up next morning, the sheets were covered in blood and bran, and I had to go and clean myself. And gradually it got worse, and then I was in the greenhouse, and one of them wanted me to masturbate him, and I said no. And he hit me with a plant pot at the side of the head, where I've still got the mark today. And after he hit me with a plant pot, he said, "When you go in there, you tell him you fell over in the greenhouse." But the worst thing of all was when they took us to Mapley Plains to have the electronic shock treatment, where they used to put wires like a crown on your head, full of wires, and you'd get there and it'd be a green room, white room with green chairs, and then they put this crown on you and lay down, and you'd have these electric shock treatments. You could remember getting there, but you could never ever remember the journey back, because all you did was sleep. But my experience of that, the food wasn't too bad, but the violence and the things that happened in there was unbelievable, was colossal. And they talk about people that are evil. All these people in there were evil. There wasn't one good person.
Thank you.
And I could tell you a hell of a lot more, but it's so upsetting, and I'm trying to keep myself strong so I can carry on with the fight.
Yeah, what you need to remember is, you know, it's not your thing. You know, this belongs back to Nottingham City Council. You know, and the likes of Ian Courier and John Boy Collins, they need to take ownership of all this, because they've been in denial for so long. All my childcare records have gone, you know, and it comes as no surprise, you know, that records of you have gone missing.
Yeah,
You know.
all my records have gone. I've got no doctor's records. I've got no church records. I'm a Catholic. I've got no school records. They've all vanished. I've got them from being 11 upwards, but I haven't gone up to there. And I was in 5 children's homes. 1 children's home at Southall. I was thrashed that one day. I was thrashed one Sunday morning that much that they couldn't let me go to school till the Wednesday because the marks on me was from the top of my head to the bottom, and this woman kept saying, "You will cry." And because I wouldn't cry, she couldn't hit me no more because she wore herself out. And that was with the old sandals with crepe bottoms.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't confined to mental abuse kids, but you know, I mean, I can only ever recall lads being in children's homes, the ones that I was in Nottingham, but you know, there is a connection between me and you because I too was in Ashley House in 1967, and
just out of interest, what year was it that the abuse started with you?
1953.
you know, so are you listening, Mr. Collins and Mr. Courier, right? Because you're in denial about me, and I now have the proof that I was in your system from 1966 and 67. We've exposed you as a liar, right? And now I've been the one that goes the furthest back. We now have someone that goes back to the year I was born. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Courier? What do you have to say, Mr. Collins?
We have sent letter after letter after letter to the council, Nottingham City Council, and to the juvenile court, and we've never yet had one answer, and it has cost us hundreds of pounds in solicitors' fees.
Well, I'm not going to say anything on camera, but there is a way that we're going to help you to try and find some of your missing stuff. We've traced quite a bit of mine that places me in places that they said I wasn't, and we will do whatever we can. But you know, we're here tonight to expose Nottingham City Council, Nottingham County Council for what they are. Nothing short of a paedophile ring. I think we'll.
Have you got any final words you'd like to say?
Ian, John, look at this. This is the place that you say that doesn't exist. You know, there's a legal argument about it. It's Ashley House in Worksop. You told lies again when you sent someone out to meet the BBC the other day. You named, I think it was 9 children's homes. Well, I've got 12 on the list that you gave me on an FOI, and there's still 3 that's not there. There's Brooklands Remand Home, and that's down in Somerset, and there's also Ashley House. And you didn't even name Hazelwood, but the police did when the Nottingham Post went to them. Now, Johnny boy, you're telling porkies again, aren't you? Eh? I think I might have to come and meet you at the council house again.
Is this where this chap's been assaulted as well?
Oh yes, but you see, I was there in 1967, right? The same things were happening to people there: violence, mental abuse, physical abuse,
Sexual abuse.
sexual abuse, and now we're talking mid-50s, you know. And what more can I say? I thought I was the oldest, the longest one. With my case goes back to 1966, but now we have someone that goes back to 1953. Aren't you a sad, sorry crowd of mother? Beep.